The oldest bike in my humble collection is a 1977 Yamaha RD400 two-stroke. And of all the bikes I've restored over the years and all the bikes I treasure, this is the one that brings me back the most memories and makes me feel the youngest. And you can watch this ride in 4K, adjust your settings. Well, today is one of the days we always look forward to. It's two-stroke day. We're going to fill up the two-stroke oil, fill up the fuel tank, and head out on the open road, and it is a beautiful day. Of course, nothing new about this. We got to move some bikes around. We got to pre-flight the bike, and most of all, we're really just looking forward to getting out on the open road with our RD400. So as I'm getting the bikes ready and moving them around, it's always crossed my mind how different modern bikes are, how convenient they are to have electric starters and not need two-stroke oil and whatever. But whenever you've ridden a two-stroke back to back with one of the modern bikes, it's totally different. It's like flying a Stearman biplane instead of a Learjet, and it's got a unique feel to it, a unique sound, a unique going through the gears feel, and it's something I treasure because I know these bikes are getting harder and harder to get. And when I restored this one, I did it as a labor of love, and I did all the polishing and painting, and I wanted to create something that looked like a Kenny Roberts replica, and it looked like something that the factory might have made, but just a little bit different, unique, and one of one. That was my goal. I think I achieved that goal. I always check the two-stroke oil. That is the number one thing. Don't forget that. Do not forget to do the two-stroke oil. And get all the chain lube off the back wheel, and we're pretty much ready to go get suited up and get out of here. When I got this bike, it had a little over, I think, 7,000 miles on it. It's got over 17 now. I've put 10,000 on it. Put a couple of sets of tires already. And, of course, the mandatory things, the brake pads and stuff. But the real thing that I did, that I spent a lot of time doing, was trying to lay out a custom Kenny Roberts replica type of paint job that reflected the Yamaha race bikes of that era. And I'm not sure how successful I was. That's in the eye of the beholder, but everybody that seems to see this bike, and I have several different seats for it and cafe parts and different sets of wheels and shocks and just a ton of 2-3 different exhaust systems, in fact. And I enjoy riding it no matter what state of tune it's in. It is always a lot of fun to ride. And anybody that goes back to that era when these bikes were, I don't know what you would call them, giant killers, or you'd see people with Sportsters and Triumphs and they'd giggle and laugh. And then, of course, the next thing is you just pass them at will. And all of the two-strokes of this era, the H1s, the H2s, the Water Buffaloes, they have all become extreme collector bikes. And when they are in nice shape, they always get super top dollar. It's amazing how they have held their value. And I think because the Kenny Roberts paintwork is kind of unique, and I've never seen another one exactly like it, it just sets it apart in a crowd at any of the meetups we go to, or if we're out at gas stations buying gas. And you almost always run into people no matter where you go, meetups or gas stations or whatever. And they say, oh, I had one way back in the day. Oh man, did I have fun with that bike? Oh, I wish I could get it back. I'm sorry I sold it. I don't get almost no money for it. Now try to get it back. lots of luck. And it's just something iconic about the sound of a two-stroke going through the gears. I don't know how to describe it. It's a total different experience. Again, I relate it to, it's like flying a Stearman biplane. Now, while I had stopped to take a picture, a guy walking his Papillon stopped and said he had one back in the day. Now, probably the best mod I made to the bike was putting on brand new carburetors. I mean, the bike is a 1977. The carburetors had a lot of wear on them. I replaced them. There's a video out on my channel of replacing them with new Sudco carburetors. It's not a bolt-on job. It requires a little bit of effort, but in the end, it's worth it. The first time you go through the gears and you have that nice crisp throttle response, well, it's worth all the time, energy, the money you put into it. But it is a little bit, just a little bit of a labor of love to do it. And of course, then you come to the realization there'll never be any more. If you have one, there'll never be any more. Now, if you complain about the mileage you're getting on your big super bike, 1000cc, when you get an RD, you better have a good credit card with you. And this bike, at the end of every ride, toward the end, I just like to cruise. It's a very comfortable bike to ride. It's light, it's nimble. You can turn it around in a driveway. Just a lot of fun to ride. And this day has been wonderful, but it's time to get back to the farm and see what Karen's making for lunch. And as I'm heading back to the farm, it just goes through my mind over and over again how lucky I am to have gotten this when I did the restoration as a labor of love. I will have it to the day I die. Well, this just turned out to be just a spectacular two-stroke day. Just spectacular. Weather couldn't have been nicer. Bike was in a good mood. Karen's going to make me lunch. A lot of things going my way here so far today. Anyway, hope things are going your way too, and I hope if you have a two-stroke, I hope you're out there two-stroking away. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.